Hello, I am John Gabay from RecursiveRaccoon.xyz. Welcome back to another vlog, weekly reflections for networking and hardware fundamentals. Today is a very special one because we're going to cover binary. Now, if I ignore all of this that I've written down already, I'm just going to flip the page, come over here, okay? Now, binary, everybody knows, ones, zeros. You know, almost everybody's seen The Matrix, you know, with the ones and zeros flying around, you know. And it looks very computery, and our society has a very strong connotation with binary, meaning computery or tech or cyber or sci-fi even in some cases, like The Matrix, you know. But how does it actually work? Well, how do we count? Well, let's just list some out. We've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then we get all the way to 99. But then what? We go to 100. Okay, well, 101, 102, then we get to 110, 111, 112, and then we get all the way to 998, 999, and then we go to 1,000. And you know, the process, it just continues like this. Now, that's cut off. That's unfortunate. I was writing, I'm sorry, I got a little ahead of myself. This is base 10. There are 10 digits to our counting system, 0 through 9, and then what happens after that? We carry on into the next place. So we have, say, the ones place. Okay, ones. Then we have the tens place. Okay. Then we have the hundreds, thousands, etc., etc., etc. Goes on and on. We just keep adding zeros. But once we hit 9, there's nowhere to go but start over. We reach 9 and we're done. So we go to 0 again, except we add a 1 before it. This is how we keep track of numbers. This is the base 10 system of counting, or decimal. You know, or deca rather, meaning 10. So, what's binary? Well, let me tell you, it's the exact same thing on a different scale. And this is where things get fascinating. Binary, what do you start with? Well, you start with 0. Okay, well, first of all, let me draw a big old line, because these are two different concepts and we don't want to have decimal right there and, you know, get mixed up. So we'll just kind of mark that off. So, binary, what do we do? Start with 0. Okay. Well, then what? Okay, we count up by 1. We go to 1. Okay. Binary. The prefix bi means 2. So, what do we do now? We've reached 2 digits, 0 and 1. Well, we're going to carry over into the next place. And we're going to start over with a 1 and a 0. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to increment by 1 and see where we go. Okay, we've incremented by 1. So what do? Well, we carry over into the next position and add zeros. And we're going to do it again. And just like decimal, you notice up here I had to put ellipses because it would take 10 times as long to go through these digits. You have to get through the 10s, then the 20s, then the 30s, then the 40s, then the 50s, then the 60s, then the 70s, then the 80s, then the 90s. Finally, you reach 99. Then you go to 100s. Then it takes 100 times longer to go through because you have to do 120, 130, 140, 150 up to the 210, 230, 250, 280, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. It grows like that, almost exponentially. And when we come down to the binary, we're going to see the same thing. It's a little easier to manage, though. We're going to continue counting. That stays. Increment by 1. Okay. So, because we've hit 1, we have to go. We have to start over with that digit and set that equal to 1. So we're counting. It's the same thing as cycling over our digits here, where we went from 9, and we went back to 1 and 0, 1 and 0, down to 99, and then we went to 1 and 0 and 0. It's the same thing here. We had 0, we had 1. Okay, now we're going to go to 1 and 0. Then we had 1 and 1, and we're going to go over to 1, 0, 0. Now, if we just, if this looks confusing, and it might, this is a new concept to some extent, just ignore those. Well, rather, that's bad because my finger is blocking it off, but ignore those, I'm trying to use the shadow to block it off, if I can. And just look at that last digit. It's a 1. We have to stop there, move it over, start again. And we're going to do it again. And we've filled in. And now we're at 111. That's the maximum we can go. So we have to step over again. And we have to do 1, 0, 0, 0. And it's the same process. We're going to continue counting. Every time that we hit a 1, when we step over, we can't go to 2. We're at the end of the list, so we have to go back to 0. So we carry over a digit. Now look at that. It's growing. Just like decimal does, it grows. Now we have 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. And you know what? It's going to be the same. It's the same counting, okay? It's not going to change on you. It's just a matter of carrying over those digits. And the list goes on and on and on, just as decimal does. I was not going to write it out like that though, but you can see it makes that jump. We would have had to have done 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Then after 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, then 99, and then that gets even longer. Okay? So let's go back to the other page. That's how you count in binary.